Full interview with David Brakewell, history teacher. What is your name, your job, and your major?
My name is David Brakewell. My job is a social science teacher here at White Oak Secondary School. My major, I have a degree in geography with a minor in history.
What events led you to the career that you're currently working in? What events led you to choose your major?
Teaching's a second career for me. I worked in this IT industry in sales and marketing, but I was always involved with kids. I was a volunteer with Big Brothers in Burlington, Hamilton area for many years. I coached minor sports, and somebody said to me one day that you're really good with kids. You should be a teacher. And I thought, yeah, I should. And originally, I wanted to teach math and science, but I went back and finished my degree, and I was so far removed from the math skills that I had developed in high school that it was a bit too challenging for me. So I've always been interested in geography and the environment. And I've always been interested in history. So that's what led me to pursue education, geography, and history.
Describe the day-to-day responsibilities of your job.
Day-to-day responsibilities. Well, you have to plan lessons, plan units, plan assessments. There's constant communication, with parents and other members of staff, teachers that teach the same subject, to make sure that everybody's on the same page in terms of the lessons you're presenting and the assessments that you're doing. And a lot of marking. It's a busy life.
What do you think is the biggest misconception that people have about your job?
Well, in terms of the public, I think the misconception the public has is that teachers don't work very hard. I think people think that your day starts at 8:05 and it ends at 2:40 and that's it. And I don't think people realize the amount of work, the amount of nights. Like I say, when you're marking things, there's and when you're doing report cards, there's many nights where you're up till like 1 o'clock in the morning doing stuff. So I think that's the biggest misconception. I don't think people realize how hard teachers work during the school year.
What type of people are best suited to pursue your career? What qualities or qualifications would they have to have?
Well, I've always believed that teaching is a calling, similar to nursing. I have the same idea about nursing. I think those are careers that it's something that you're just meant to do. In terms of specific characteristics, being a teacher, you have to have a lot of patience, but you have to really like kids. Because you're with them all day, every day. So I think you have to really like kids. You have to have a lot of patience, and you have to be very empathetic and compassionate as well, because there are a lot of students that have struggles, both academically and in their personal lives as well.
Be honest. Do you like your job? Why or why not?
No, I love being a teacher. Like I said, I think it was a calling. It was the career I was meant to do. I constantly regret not getting involved in it earlier. Like I said, it's a second career for me. But for sure, there's days when it's tiring and exhausting. And by the time the end of June comes along, you are just exhausted. And by the time, the holiday break comes along in December, you're just exhausted. But I love it. Like any job, there's going to be days when it's tough. But when you get really good students that appreciate what you do, it's very rewarding as well.
The things I value most in a career are helping people, learning things, and spontaneity. Would you say that your job has these things?
Oh, absolutely. And spontaneity, each class is different. Remember the first year I came to White Oaks, I was teaching career studies, and I had all 3 classes were career studies. And I thought, this is going to be great. By the time I get to my 3rd class, I'll have the lesson down perfect. But you present the same lesson in the same way, and it works well in the first 2 classes, but in the 3rd one, it's different. And the dynamic of the students in the class makes each class different. A lesson or approach in one class isn't necessarily going to work on the next class. So for sure, you have to be able to adapt and be flexible.
In general, what are your biggest concerns about the job market in the future?
Yes, I talk about this a lot with my geography class that I used to talk about a lot when I taught career studies. Whoops, sorry.
That's fine.
The economy has shifted. Like when I was in high school, back in the old days, I grew up in Hamilton, Ontario, and in those days you could graduate high school, go down to the industrial area of Hamilton, and get a job like in a factory and make decent money enough to like be able to buy a house and support a family. But now the economy has changed. I think most of the jobs are in we call knowledge-based industries. So it requires more education. So there's a lot more pressure there, I think, on students today than there was when I went to school. So in terms of trends, knowledge-based centers, anything to do with IT, information technology is always strong. With the aging population, anything to do with healthcare or pharmaceuticals or science, those are a lot of potential too. Teaching, it goes up and down. Right now there's a lot of demand for supply teachers, but I think with a lot of the baby boomers more and more retiring, I think there's ebbs and flows, and I think within a few years there'll be a demand again.
Finally, what tips would you give to young people who have trouble deciding what job or major they want to pursue?
Like I've said already, just find something that you're interested in and pursue that. But at the same time, like I say, look at the job prospects. Originally, like when I was in high school, I wanted to be an actor. I was into drama and everything, but I was told that 90% of actors are really bartenders and waiters, So that kind of steered me away from that. But try to find the perfect balance of something that you love to do where there are job prospects as well.
Okay, thank you.